You mentioned like gross yields of between 9 to 12%, some even higher potentially in some of the regional areas. What's a typical net return after costs like the property
So
management
we're
fee,
saying, look,
insurance
allow a deduction of about 1.5% roughly.
of the gross?
Of the gross yield. So if your gross yield is say 10%, deduct 1.5% gives you 8.5% net yield.
How do you achieve that?
As I said, we spend a lot of time looking at the operational costs. So this is property management fees. This is insurance. So there's a bunch of different insurance options for you, depending on what you want insured.
Okay.
We look at everything from our power. Power is absolutely critical. We do things in the house that nobody else does that keeps your power bills down.
Okay.
So that's a bit of a trade secret. So when you look at all the big ticket items in your operational costs, we actually shave thousands of dollars off compared to other rooming houses.
How much can an investor typically claim in depreciation and say year one?
That's probably a question for an accountant, but
Okay.
it depends on a lot of factors, but essentially, probably around somewhere between $20,000 to $30,000.
Okay, because of all the fittings and so on.
Well, you got plant and capital. Basically means the house itself and the plant, which is the furnishings.
Properties or self-managed super fund, but you can assist with
we introduce them to the right people.
Okay.
So that will get down to things like servicing, income. How many properties do you have? Are you prepared to sell some properties? Do you want to draw equity down on your principal place?
But they got to go to the specialist broker, right?
They got to get a specialist.
Yeah, not just
our specialist brokers actually are more than that. They're almost like financial planners. They can actually restructure them and help them restructure. So it might take a few more weeks or months to do all that. But we've had one client in particular that springs to mind. Our broker was able to save them $4,000 a month on their repayments simply by restructuring their portfolio. Now, it took probably 3 or 4 months to get that all sorted, but it actually helped and benefited the investor, and they were able to successfully go into a development project. I do all the numbers, so I do all the projections of the costs. I've got a massive spreadsheet, which Peter, you've seen, and that spreadsheet is like 14 sheets long, and it gives us a summary of all the costs. We hand those costs to the broker. We provide all that information, and we've never had a development or a house build declined.